5 lights. They're out. And away we go. Deadeye seems to get a good start. They're all very slow. Traction is going to be difficult. And McLaren wiggling very hard in the back there. Deadeye does seem to get ahead for turn 1. Matty, the top 3 staying the same. They're all going to be negotiating into this very twisty section after the snail section. BUSR does make up a position. Wilson seems to have been dropped down. Does get ahead of JH. The car's doing very well there to not make any major contact. I do believe there was a little bit, but it didn't look too bad as they now steam into turn 6. This tight hairpin again. Traction very hard, and Williams decides to cut the corner completely. And speaking of traction, you just saw JH struggle a lot to get it down, and that cost him as the back of his car slipped out and the other cars just swamped him down 5 positions. Not the greatest start, but who has had a great start? Callum Teasdale up 4 positions in the Red Bull. Yellow flag. We do have someone who is spun. I believe that is JH. Yeah, so as you saw, he was struggling earlier in these conditions on the traction, and out of turn 10 is a very traction heavy zone and must have just overspun the back wheels. Been under a lot of pressure. It's Deadeye, fastest lap after fastest lap. He just keeps going quicker, and I think he's getting into a bit of a groove now, which is dangerous. You don't want Deadeye getting into a groove, because once he's in it, he's not getting out, and he will just bridge the gap further and further. That's VSC. I'm not quite sure who's gone off or why we have one. As we speak of it, Dasher gets one, as does Donut Hole and JH, all speeding under virtual safety car. So that's actually a drive-through penalty for speeding, and that's a Dasher. He got some bad to worse, a drive-through penalty. He has spun out the exit of turn 13. That was a very heavy impact. His entire front wing is gone. Yeah, I believe JH entered the pits and just retired, so clearly not too happy with how his race started out. But yeah, I mean, Dasher has been absolutely plagued with bad luck this season. Back in Imola, anytime he said his name, he would have an incident. And as we saw in Mexico, Dasher has the pace. He was fighting with Deadeye at the front, and it's just these unlucky incidents that happen straight. I mean, Dasher could come back into this. We are still yet to have a safety car. A safety car would be very nice for him, as it will allow him to catch back up to the back of the field.
I think it's a battle for second place, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it could be. Deadeye obviously running pretty well. He's got into a groove of things. No longer setting a fastest lap every lap, but I think for 8 laps that would have been a bit mental. Callum running very well. The top 4 not changing positions, and Callum does go for a lunge up the inside. Baz seems to get the switch back, as Callum did struggle with traction on the exit, and a big bold move from Callum Teasdale, maybe hinting back at the Daniel Ricciardo Red Bull days.
And Dasher at the bottom there just set a new fastest lap, so I'm sure he's really going to be going for this, trying to get above 14th place, even with this 43-second gap between himself and Donut.
Yeah, Dasher absolutely going well, as Deadeye now takes that fastest lap away from Dasher. But Dasher going well, he's determined, locking up in the wet, and he locked up a long way there.
3-second penalty.
Just cuts the corner on the inside and picks up the first 3-second penalty for corner cutting off the race. Okay, we have someone off in turn 14, that is Donut, who had a drive-through penalty. That will not be a safety car, but maybe an over-rotation there in the exit. And
Dasher, new fastest lap.
Yeah, it does now get the fastest lap of the race with 1:47 flat. We have a yellow flag in sector 2. That is the Games Geek, who has retired. Could this be a safety car? Yes, it can. We have a full safety car. So Dasher and Donut will be rubbing their hands together. Looking forward to this. I think we'll be seeing a lot of people coming to the pits, and this will allow the bottom 2, who unfortunately had penalties, to catch up to the pack. As you see Deadeye coming in, and Matty and Lou. So this may be a double stack scenario for Mercedes. I think Lou will be held up a little bit. Deadeye does get clear. And no, perfect double stack there for Mercedes. So very nice. They did that pretty cleanly. and Dasher does decide to come in. The wise decision, Dasher, my friend. So everyone will be starting on fresh, wet tyres behind safety car. This is essentially a little bit of a reset on the field. Was that an end plate? I saw that was. I think I just saw an end plate. I can't imagine what's happened there. Is that no? Oh yeah, that's the AlphaTauri of Cameron Searle without an end plate. So no collision penalty for any cars. So he must have just gone into the wall, and he is gone. Matty seems to have stuck with him. So has Lou. Baz has dropped behind a bit. Callum not getting the best restart, and with that 3-second penalty, that is going to harm him. But all clean into turn 1. No moves being made. I say that Lou was on the inside, and Matty Mumu does get the position. But is now on the outside. Matty gets the inside. It's all about who gets the better traction out of this corner. Seems to be Lou, yeah, and he is clear. And now right behind his Mercedes teammate, Lou gets the position on the restart, and I think he was eyeing that up, definitely. Very good. And Callum goes for another deep lunge onto Bazza, and this time makes it stick. That looked absolutely crazy from where we saw it, and puts himself up into 4th after what was, I considered, not an optimal restart. Yellow flag, Cameron Searle, as we were just talking about him, not faring too well, has decided to head into the pits and retire from the session. Looking to make a move, does go in the inside. It looked like Mad Dog was a bit later on the brakes, but the inside line is superior. Bit of contact, and Mad Dog does get pushed wide.
Ooh, lots of contact.
Yeah, and Wilson gets the move, and another 3-second time.
Oh no!
Callum. Yeah, Wilson just aggressively getting past Mad Dog, and I think he'll be a bit mad about that one. As Dasher, whilst all of these are battling, has now reduced the deficit by 3 more seconds, now only 5 seconds behind, so he'll be seeing it and be thinking, yeah, carry on boys, you can carry on battling, I'll eat up that time whilst you do. And another member of the 3-second club, TKO Survivor, which essentially discounts him from the battle for 9th, and also now puts him behind Dasher, believe it or not. Goes fully onto the inside. Numbers also heavy on the ERS. Donut chooses to opt to the outside. And
what a great overtake.
Perfect switch back onto Numbers, who went a bit too deep to get P9. A beautiful overtake from Donut Hole. But what a move from Dasher into turn 1. Onto TKO. He saw the gap and just lunged down the inside. And now he is not the last on track, and I think that's as good as a win from where he was. Better just showing off, and
he's making the move onto Numbers there. Going to have to. He might get here through turn 1, and I think he does. Yes, he does. Great move, and that puts him well ahead of Numbers there. Oh no!
And that is killer. Mad Dog gets the 3-second time penalty on the exit of the last corner on the second to last lap. So enough as Deadeye is now coming up to the finish line to take P1 and the fastest lap. Maximum points for Deadeye to further extend his lead in the championship. A spin for TKO, which will keep him in 12th. Donut kind of looks for a move on Jarek. He doesn't quite make it stick. I don't think anything will be happening into this last corner. Another yellow flag in Sector 3, which may just be something to do with the cars finishing, but Donut does not quite get Jarek and stays 9th. Dasher with an absolutely stellar comeback for P10. Numbers rounding off 11th. TKO finishing it off in 12th position.
With a big crash into the wall.
That is a flex of the Donuts if I've ever seen one. But the great Chinese Grand Prix Cam Teasdale driver of the day, and you know what, I'm gonna root for the underdog and say Dasher after being so far behind. He is my driver of the day. That takes some stellar pace, determination,